I just want you to relate the story, just me being a geek and starstruck about this particular thing, is how do you start to hear that you're going to read to be on a Spielberg executive-produced vehicle called Seaquest?
Okay.
And then take me through that point of like...
let me take you through the process a little bit before. So before I even got Roundtable, I auditioned for just a little movie called Jurassic Park.
Oh, yes. I love this story, but I want to hear it again.
I'm going to tell you, just because it kind of is what... so I auditioned for Jurassic Park with the casting director.
What character was it?
It was the Laura Dern.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember her name. Yeah,
Laura
Dern. And I went up for the casting director, and she put me on tape and then brought it over to Steven, and I got a call about a week later
By
saying...
Steven, you mean
Steven, Mr. Spielberg.
Mr. Spielberg. Okay. I'm not on a first-name basis with him, but whatever.
And I remember getting the call from my agent, and he said, they want you to meet Steven. And you're just like,
okay.
Oh my God.
But this was for Jurassic Park.
This is for Jurassic Park. So read the whole book within a week, as much as get the book,
Right.
at least you're familiar with it. So I read the book as best as I could, and I went into Emblem on Universal, which was really quite exciting.
Yeah.
And I was super nervous and walking in, and
I can't imagine.
yeah.
What is it like? No, I really want you to break down this moment, because for me, this is like, what was that like to know that your life... I know it was another job, and you'd been working, and you, of course, actresses and actors have rejection all the time. You get turned down for way more stuff than you get.
Right.
But the idea that you're going to Amblin to meet him for what you know is going to be it's going to be a massive global film.
Yes.
And your life could be a lot
change
different
instantly
when you walk out of that meeting and versus when you walked into it. Those moments in life to me are so interesting, and it can happen with health or career or whatever. Like, there's a moment that's like, okay, my life could be different after that moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So but as an actress, you get so excited and your hopes up, but then at the same time you don't want to, because if you don't get it, you get super disappointed, and then you watch the movie, you're like, God, that could have been me or whatever up there on that screen, whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, I just remember how exciting, and please, to meet Spielberg. I never thought that, coming from Grand Rapids.
So what
Michigan.
was that meeting for? Was it to read for him, or was it?
Well,
to
it was
just
to
meet
talk
him?
to him. He wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
And which I was like, okay, fabulous. You want to talk to me? So I went into the meeting. It was just him and the casting director. I remember I was sucking on a See's butterscotch candy, and he asked me if I had one, and I'm like, oh, I think I may, but I only have one, and I apologize to Jane, the casting director, that I
Steven's
didn't
getting
have.
the butterscotch.
So Steven's going to get the butterscotch one, okay.
Yeah.
So Steven and I are sucking in our See's candies, which you kind of go, this is
a
so
funny
cool.
detail, but I'm sure,
I know,
yeah,
but
it's
it's
just
just,
small.
I remember it so vividly. And so we went on, and he started, he just said, you look amazing on camera, and I just want you to just say the words, don't act them, don't do anything with it, just, be really simple with this character. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking, God, was I just overacting? And,
Right.
all that stuff goes
You're
through your head.
replaying your audition.
Yeah,
in
oh
your
God,
mind.
yes. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, here's Steven saying,
Sure.
just
dial it
just
back.
say it, just say it. I'm like, okay. And he says, and then in the meantime, I want you to, do some shots, come back with your hair wet, and I want a baseball cap on you, and, ponytail, shaken out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. I have no idea. I don't know
Right.
I still don't. Maybe that was,
Right.
who knows, really.
Right.
So I did all that, and so the meeting ended it was wonderful.
But you had homework to do. You had to go get some shots to take other parts of this character and shoot him as, it was almost like a screen test almost.
Yes. So I had to go back. It was almost like that. So then I went back and really worked on the pages and they call them scenes or audition pages. And so I went back and I did that, and I think it was like 3 days later I went into Jane again at the casting office, and we did exactly that. And I went to the bathroom and I wet my hair and did all the baseball cap, all that, everything, then left it. Then you got to leave it. Yeah. And then you're like inside going, oh, God, when is it going to happen? And then in the meantime, I auditioned for Roundtable, which was Aaron Spelling thing. And I got the call back for that. And then I got in to do the test. And then finally I got the part of, the lead in that. And so didn't hear back from,
right.
Jurassic Park or Spielberg, and so I thought that was over. And in a way, it kind of was, because once you do something else, you're choosing to say yes. So,
right.
But then I got a call from my agent.
And you can't really call them and go, "Hey, I have this other offer to do Aaron Spelling."
You
series.
could, I think you could.
Your agent certainly.
You
could
would have
go,
to do a little thing, and just, is it going to go any further?
And you could go like, "Oh, Stacy really wants to be in this movie, but she has this offer. So if you're passing on her, could you pass?
Can you let us know ASAP?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, if you have savvy agents,
yeah,
sometimes they're good about that.
yeah.
But I guess but working with Aaron Spelling is not too shabby either.
Yeah, right.
So so when that came about, that was wonderful. But then I didn't hear until later on during I think it was like after the show got canceled. I think it was in the last episode, my agent just happened to he said, I just want you to know that the casting director, Spielberg, was wondering what your availability was for Jurassic Park. And you just like go, are you freaking kidding me? Could that have been something?
Right.
But, I mean, you just kind of go, okay, I guess it wasn't mine at the time. And
right.
so then 6 months later, I know this is like a long story,
No, I love
but so 6 months later, I auditioned, at Christmas time, I auditioned for Demolition Man. I did
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
So I auditioned for him, and then, not for him specifically, but for the casting director. The casting director said, I love you, and we're going to bring you to meet Stallone and the producers after the holidays. So I got that call, afterwards. I'm like, hey, am I supposed to go back in? And my agent's like, oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Thank you. You're just like, ah.
Your agent forgot.
Yeah, I know. So, I guess they have their own Christmas, holidays that they have to go on. And so,
just affected your
career.
career.
I know. And all you are as an actress or an actor is just like, I want, you want to get in these bigger movies so that you can kind of have a little cachet, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
It's the top of the rung of the
Oh,
ladder.
yeah. So I auditioned for Stallone at Warner Brothers. I remember the office specifically. I was so nervous, and he enjoyed the performance. He basically had me do another one with I think it's Joel Schumacher, who was the producer of that, and so we did that. And then I got the call that there's going to be 6 of us testing with Stallone, and I think Stallone. What I had heard is that Stallone actually paid for my tests specifically. So I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
I guess because tests are expensive. And there's those. I went on the test. You don't wear any heels. You have to wear flats. And so that didn't, pan out either. But, then a week later, I got the call for Seaquest.
Yeah.
So it all is like this. This is how an actor's life is. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, and it's great that Spielberg, he didn't cast you. He cast Laura Dern in Jurassic Park. He passed on you for that, but he remembered you.
Yes.
Because on the heels of that, only what? 6.
It was about like 6-7 months later. It was
he's
they were
producing this
the television series. I know this our long journey back to here.
No, I know, but then you get cast on this
yes.
show, which was a huge show on NBC for 3 or 4 seasons.
It was, and I did the first season, but then they moved to Florida, which I did not want to go because I did Superboy for almost 4 years down in Florida. I was like, I just bought a house that I always call it the Seaquest house, that Seaquest built. But I bought the house, and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to just
Go to Florida.
move and rent out my house and leave.
Yeah.
So I stayed, and and it was a journey. I mean, it's exciting, but as an actress in my 20s, if I could go back and tell that person, just appreciate everything, where you're at, what you're doing, a younger actor, a younger Stacy, I would always tell her, just, have faith, trust that everything is going to work out, and know that where you're at, just be present and enjoy the moment.
This Full Exposure podcast episode has been made possible through the support of Metro Health, University of Michigan Health, and Dr. Peter Hahn, who believe that creativity and the arts are essential to a rich, healthy, and fulfilling life.